Chapter 10, Religious Reform Movements in Modern India. Part 1, Religious Reform Movements in Eastern India. Dear learners, how are you? Welcome to NIS. Do you know, we are very lucky people today. We are free from foreign domination and from other rigidities which our ancestors had to face. You know the Indian society in the first half of the 19th century, which was caste-ridden, descendant and rigid. A change was therefore needed in society. When the British came to India, they introduced the English language as well as certain modern ideas. Ideas like liberty, social and economic equality, fraternity, democracy, and justice were introduced in Indian society. You will be interested to know that there were some persons who brought about these changes in the society. They worked towards reforming the society, and hence they are known as reformers. They also fought the highly westernization of the Indian culture and heritage. They were Indians like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Dayanand Saraswati, and many others. Let us know more about the reforms. We will begin by discussing about the reform movements that took place in Eastern India during the modern period. Brahmo Samaj and Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Men and women enjoy certain rights and freedom today. But do you know that they were given to us by the untiring efforts made by certain reformers? Among the great reformers of this period, Raja Ram Mohan Roy deserves special mention. He was a highly educated man. You will be interested to know that he made special effort to study Christianity and Islam so that he could deal with them with understanding. He was a Hindu whose main aim was to make the Hindu religion free of image worship, sacrificial rites, and other meaningless rituals. Therefore, he read many books about Hinduism. He established the Brahmo Samaj in 1828. It has to be kept in mind that the Brahmo Samaj as an organization never attacked other religions. It just forbade or did not allow idol worship and discard meaningless rituals like sacrifice of innocent animals and birds. It believed in the basic unity of all the religions. Raja Ram Mohan Roy believed that the man should adopt truth and goodness and should give up things based on falsehood and superstition. Raja Ram Mohan Roy is also credited to have abolished the practice of sati in 1829. Do you know what this practice of sati mean? Have you ever come across this word before in your lessons? It was a practice in India whereby a widow threw herself onto her husband's funeral pyre. He realized that the practice of sati was due to the extremely low position of Hindu women. Therefore, he started working as a stout champion of women's rights. He worked very hard for years to stop this practice of sati. In the early 1818, he set out to rouse public opinion on the question of sati. He argued his case through the reading of ancient scriptures and gathering humanitarian compassion. He was also against the caste system. Do you know what caste system is? When any class or group of people inherit exclusive privileges or are perceived as socially distinct, it is called caste system. It divided the people and so Raja Ram Mohan Roy was against it. Study of the Vedas and Upanishads gave him ground to show that monotheism was the original Hindu belief, and hence he denounced polytheism and idolatry. We have already discussed about what are monotheism, polytheism and idolatry. Have we not, dear learners? In fact, the philosopher did not insist on the creation of new religion, but merely tried to purify the Vedic religion from the crude and most ignorant superstitions. He advocated the abolition of polygamy, that is, a practice of man having more than one wife, and child marriage. He wanted women to be educated and given the right to inherit property. He condemned the subjugation of women and opposed the prevailing ideas that women were inferior to men in intellect or in a moral sense. He advocated the rights of widows to remarry. You would be interested to know, to bring his ideas into practice, Raja Ram Mohan Roy founded the Brahmo Sabha in 1828, which later came to be known as Brahmo Samaj. It was open to all persons, regardless of their color, convictions, caste, nationality and religion. Devendranath Tagore (1817 to 1905), the son of Dwarkanath Tagore, founder member of Brahmo Samaj, succeeded Raja Ram Mohan Roy as the leader of the Brahmo Samaj. He put new life in the Samaj and propagated Raja Ram Mohan Roy's ideas. Keshav Chandra Sen, (1838 to 1884), However, the Brahmo Samaj was weakened by internal dissensions, and its influence remained confined to urban educated groups. But it left its impact on the intellectual, social, and political life of Bengal. Prarthana Samaj and Ranade. Like the Brahmo Samaj, the Prarthana Samaj was established in Bombay by Dr. Atmaram Pandurang, 1825 to 1898. In 1876, with the objective of rational worship and social reform. The two great members of this Samaj were Sri R.C. Bhandarkar and Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade. They devoted themselves to the work of social reform, such as intercaste dining, intercaste marriage, widow remarriage, and improvement of the lot of women and depressed classes. Mahadev Govind Ranade, 1842 to 1901, devoted his entire life to Prarthana Samaj. He was the founder of the Widow Remarriage Association, 1861, and the Deccan Education Society. He established the Pune Sarvajanik Sabha as well. You will be interested to know that Ranade religious reform was inseparable from social reform. He also believed that if religious ideas were rigid, there would be no success in social, economic, and political spheres. Although Prarthana Samaj was powerfully influenced by the ideas of Brahmo Samaj, it did not insist upon a rigid exclusion of idol worship and a definite break from the caste system. It did not regard the Ved as the last word, nor did it believe in the doctrine of transmigration of the human soul and incarnation of God. Its central idea was one positive belief in the unity of God. Desrosiers and Young Bengal movement. Henry Louis Desrosiers joined the Hindu College of Calcutta as a teacher. Desrosiers promoted radical ideas through his teaching and by organizing an association for debate and discussion on literature. Philosophy, history, and science. He inspired his followers and students to question all authority. Do you know? He and his famous followers, known as the Desrosiers and Young Bengal, were fiery patriots. They cherished the ideals of the French Revolution, 1789 AD, and the liberal thinking of Britain. Unfortunately, Desrosiers died of cholera at the young age. The Young Bengal movement continued even after Desrosiers' sudden death. Though deprived of leadership, the members of this group continued preaching radical views through teaching and journalism. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Another outstanding reformer in Bengal was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, 1820 to 1891 AD. A scholar of great depth, he dedicated himself to the cause of emancipation of women. It was due to his sincere efforts that obstacles to the marriage of widows were removed through a law in 1856. He played a leading role in promoting education of girls and started and helped the setting up a number of schools for girls. Vidyasagar did not concern himself much with religious questions. However, he was against all those who opposed reforms in the name of the religion. In this lecture, we saw how there was religious reform movements in Eastern India during the modern period. So, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. The impact of British rule in India led to a number of social and religious reforms. Raja Ram Mohan Roy can be regarded as a central figure of India's awakening for championing the spread of modern education, science and technology, for his relentless fight against many social evils. R.C. Bhandarkar and M.G. Ranade carried out their work of religious reforms in Maharashtra through Pratna Samaj by propagating inter-caste marriages, freedom from priestly domination and improvement of the woman. With this, we have reached the end of today's lesson. I hope you liked watching this video. If you have any queries, you may send us your queries to signlanguage@nios.ac.in. For more information, you may visit our website www.nios.ac.in. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.